All right, Kendall, let's take a look at your paper, MLA citation first. Everything's good here. I actually really like the title. I think it works well. I really like your first sentence. I think you do a great job using some word choice, the clashing of metal ends. But you then jump right into Macbeth a little bit too much. I'd love to eat this little statement down here. I'd love to maybe even see you have that move up here as sort of a bridge between the two so you can elaborate on this attention getter. Macbeth from the play, Macbeth by William Shakespeare. Sadly is not an exception in this case. I'd love to see you move sadly somewhere else or make it a different part of the sentence here. Or not even use it at all. I think maybe you could just get rid of it. This is wrong use of a semicolon. This should be a colon since you're introducing a list here. Both of these instances, comma, he was under a lot of stress. Whenever you see this change being post-traumatic stress disorder, so this is a weak sentence, and whenever you use this, because you're going to use the acronym from now on, put it right after this. So you have his list of his symptoms, and then you have your thesis statement. My one problem is at the end here, causing him to distrust and hate others easily and quickly is very factual. So I have a feeling everything that you're going to say is also going to be factual, but we'll see that we'll see if that happens as we get going. All right. Throughout the entire play, the viewer can notice a slight and then so no comma, and then a drastic decline in Macbeth's trust levels and opinions of others. Not necessarily the most strongest topic sentence. We could probably make that stronger, but I like the way that you incorporate the citations here. This can clearly be seen in the character Macbeth as he makes these relationships. Now, a lot of this, the rest of this so far is just going to be plot and the different people he mistrusts. They start to change as he comes back from war. I wouldn't say that it was when he come back from war that he started to envy Duncan. It wasn't until he heard the witch's prophecies that he started to envy Duncan. So you might want to look at that again. Speaking of driving a wedge, make sure you separate those two words here. This needs to be a comma right there. And then comma, not including her in his plot, or no comma, and driving a wedge in between them. Never use very. Don't use very or really in your writing at all. You can no longer trust people. Now, here's what happened. You got to the end, and what did you say? He becomes suspicious of people, and he can't trust them. You're not really elaborating on this at all. So you got to fix that. At the end here, you got to have a stronger connection to your thesis. For example, Macduff is tacked on. Macduff is spelled wrong. These new feelings also relate to his new fears of everything. And that is the next symptom that we're going to talk about. All right, so the next one is arousal and reactivity symptoms or hyperarousal. These symptoms push people into paranoia, giving them the likelihood of having angry outbursts as well as causing trouble with sleep. Now, this is not the correct in-text citation, and we'll go back to that when we get to your works cited page. Your period needs to go at the end here, so make sure your period is there after the citation. My problem is that there's way too much stuff to talk about. You literally could do a whole paragraph just on sleep and what that does to a person. But you have him shouting at a messenger and making irrational decisions. He jumps at the littlest of things. He doesn't trust people. And his inability to care for them. As far as sleep goes, this is like totally tacked on at the end when it's such a major theme of the play. So that's why I think you can almost do something different and have a whole thing of it. You need a period there again at the end of the citation. And he now has nightmares, which is going to be flashbacks. So you have decent transitions here that are moving us along, but way too much stuff and not enough explanation or exploration of it. So you got to keep working on that. All right. Need a stronger topic sentence again. Even though this is good information about the source, I think we need a stronger topic sentence that proves what the symptom has to do with Macbeth. So just think about that. Now, the quote goes to Macbeth, which is fine to say. You can say it's all in his head, and that's okay. Just Macbeth's imagination reacting to his death and Macbeth's hand in it. Now you have a quote right here, but no, so I'm assuming you meant to put a quote there. The ghost taunts him and he's brought to the point of challenging it to a duel, flailing about the room, comma, breathing heavy, comma, and looking for a sword. So we have a run-on sentence here. Then after his episode, he sits there in fear of the ghost, not knowing how to deal with it. So break apart that sentence. With every event in the scene, it becomes, comma, it becomes probable that he is flashing back to a battle. Now, I do not like the amount you say probable and probably and so on and so forth. Because you said all of these symptoms can be seen in the banquet scene. So you said it earlier that they can be seen. So tell us this. This is hard to justify unless you say that because of the way he talked, like short bursts and exclamations, that it's quickness of breath. Otherwise, that's hard to prove. No comma, again, you're not introducing a list here. In Macbeth's mind, this experience only furthers his fears of the people around him as a large banquet crowd probably reminded him of the field. So again, we don't like probably. And I'm not sure how it reminded him of the field. I mean, is a dinner table supposed to remind you of the field? I'm not sure. All right, this isn't a bad topic sentence. This last part could be a little bit stronger, but it's a much better topic sentence this time around. So we have the clear the mind of his trauma. For instance, comma, he refuses to go back to Duncan's chamber of yet another friend. Now, what does that mean? Because Duncan's the first person he kills. So I'm not sure what you meant by that. Are you meaning because he's killed, is that other friends die on the battlefield? But we never really talk about that, so who knows. Then again, so no comma there. He does not kill Banquo. He hires people. He's triggered by crowds. No comma. While he relives the event. I'm assuming Banquo's death, but he didn't see Banquo's death either. So how does that fit in? If he knew how to avoid crowds, he probably would have. What does that mean? If he knew how to avoid crowds, he's a king. He can do whatever he wants, right? There's a comma that would go in there, but hopefully you'll switch that sentence around anyway. No connection. Very, very little connection to the thesis in that last paragraph, so definitely figure out a way to make that stronger. All right, here we go. Conclusion. Cause him to distrust and hate others easily. I don't even know if you really got into hate a whole lot in this whole paper. I feel like that's not something that you necessarily touched on a whole lot. And rule properly. So yeah, okay. So you go through your main points, which is good. You have a run-on sentence here. And again, did you really talk about Macbeth hated them for it? Like, that doesn't even, I don't even remember you saying anything about that. In the end, it was Macbeth's ambition and inability, so no comma, to trust, which led to his downfall. But all these things are made much, much worse with the influence of his PTSD. So pretty weak clincher there. Just kind of a repeat of what you've already said already. Okay, number 1, this needs to be double spaced still. Number 2, anything after the first sentence needs to be indented in like this. So these all have to be indented in. Number 3, this one's going to start with this. Oops, just the quotes. So it's going to start with that and then go to here. This should have a date with it. This should have a comma right there. This should have a period at the end here. So yeah, I got some stuff to work on that works cited page as well. All right, Kendall, not a bad start, but we definitely got to punch it up with some things here to make it stronger. So hopefully we'll see a rewrite out of you.